people, they are critical elements of democracy, of this democratic value that must be entrenched. I keep telling my people that even if you have a stupid person as governor, provided he can live by tenets of democracy, eventually the system will throw up those who will build the roads. It's very important that we move away from the democratic ethos of do or die to this democratic ethos of live and let live. That is what Jonathan represents. And this is important for this election. And I just want to encourage us, as gentlemen of the press, that we must beam our light on little intangibles that are very important for the deepening of our democracy. Because the alternative to this democracy is military dictatorship, is fascism. And in any case, no matter, like Oshoku said, no matter the volume of pancake you use in rubbing the face of a dictator is a dictator. Now let me just say one word and I'll be done. In the southwest part of this country, we have always held, as a matter of fact, the hallmark of progressivism in the southwest is for you to believe in this restructuring of the Nigerian polity. In fact, for a whole generation, it came to define the hallmark of progressivism here. That power must devolve from the center to the peripheral components. That our federalism must be clearly defined, that the federating units are the federal government and the state. And that each of these components must be given some level of autonomy to be able to develop according to its capacity without the hindrances of either the manipulative or the control of the center. And that there lies the very ingredient of rapid development of our country. People tend to get nostalgic about what it used to be in the First Republic because of a degree of autonomy. And for a very long time, everybody thought that no president would dare it, have the courage to convoke a national conference. And that if anybody was going to convoke a national conference in Nigeria, he would put his acolytes and people who are not known to be people who can stand up for what they believe in this country. 426 or 27 top Nigerians were put together. Those whom everybody knows, from every ethnic nationality, that are people who over the years have stood up for the aggregate of what they represent. I can say this for Southwest, irrespective of the revisionism that is taking place going around here, that those who represented the Southwest were the best in terms of pedigree, in terms of having stood up for what we represented over the years. The Ayo Adebanjos of this world, the Laniwa Jais of this world, the Yinka Adumakins of this world, cutting across generation of people who have always stood up to be counted when it mattered most. And when you look at every ethnic nationality in Nigeria, there's hardly any ethnic nationality whose first 11 was not included in that confab. And for the first time, 19 young ones were there. Civil society was there. The legal practitioners, they were all represented. 427 high-octave Nigerians. All of you will agree, all will agree, that we thought that this was recipe for confusion. If anybody did not think that was recipe for confusion, it means you are not a good student of the political history of this country. We thought it was recipe for confusion. One of these days, I went to the SGF. I said, this body you people put together, how can you control this body? The president said, let them be. Let there be true discussion about the faith of our country. Ladies and gentlemen, 422 independent-minded Nigerians. Some people said they were not elected. Therefore, those who enacted the American Constitution, they were not elected. So, but the important thing is that they represented the aggregate opinion of all ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. 600 resolutions, all by consensus. So for me, those resolutions represent the aggregate of position that will ensure the unity and the development of our country. It is also on record. And the good thing about, somebody said it, it is very ironical when people say you must concentrate on issues. One of the biggest issues of any campaign, presidential campaign, is actually the personality and the record of the candidates. Even in the United States of America, some of your behind-the-door indiscretions with the opposite side becomes a major issue. Some people get discredited because of that. So nobody should, part of the issue, we must also focus on what are the issues. But the important thing is that Nigerians at that conference decided on the way they want to go. And don't forget, and we cannot forget, it's part of our history. Those who discredited the conference, those who boycotted the conference, cannot turn around and say they will do anything about it. Because that conference for the first time prescribes what every Nigerian wants, true federalism for our country. And every ethnic nationality had something to take away. The northern minorities had something to take. The southern minorities, southwest. Part of the resolution, as a matter of fact, is that if there are states who, out of nostalgia for their glorious past, want to come together to form a single state, they can so do, if by referendum 75% of the citizens so decide. So for me, and for us in the Southwest, forget about neo-revisionism that is going on about comfort. For us in the Southwest, the man who convoked the national conference, who has given his word that he will ensure the implementation of that conference, Jonathan Goodluck Ebele, is the man that we think is the man of this season and the man we go with in this conference. It is part of democracy. It is about discussion. It is about debate. And somebody has said this, so I will not repeat it. Some have run away from debate, but will not run. But let me celebrate Nigeria for a minute. And I want to encourage all of us. We are not where we are going, but let us stop the market in our country at every turn of the opportunity. This country, when I was a student, Americans sent Peace Corps to civilize us, as it were. They were teaching in our schools. They were doing the all things for us. In our lifetime, in my lifetime, 250 Nigerians volunteered to fight Ebola in West African countries. That was a great day for our nation. Let us celebrate Nigeria. Let us celebrate. We are not there yet. Yes, our GDP has improved, has increased. We know that GDP can increase and poverty can reduce. But I tell you, President Jonathan already knows that this development must be inclusive. And he has started taking such inclusive steps. Among other things, 220 billion for micro, medium, and small-scale industry to ensure that nobody is left behind in this democracy. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, those are the values that will sustain our democracy. And I want to urge you all, forget about the propaganda. Let's vote the man that will take us there. Ebele Jonathan. Thank you. God bless.
And that's been the chairman of the Southwest Governors Forum of the PDP, the governor of Ondo State, Dr. Olusegun Mimiko.